The early church practiced abundant giving beyond the tithe. Now you got to understand what they were given at the time in the early church was way past 10%. Acts 2, I'll give you a couple instances. And all the believers met together in one place. They met together corporately and shared everything they had. They sold their property and possessions and shared the money with those in need. So they gave that to the church and they shared that as believers. That's beyond 10%. Property and possessions. How about Acts 4? There were no needy people among them because those who owned land or houses would sell them. They sold land and houses and took the money and brought it to the apostles, brought it to the church leaders to give to those in need. So they took care of the needs with that amount. And there was thousands. For instance, there was a guy named Joseph, the one the apostles nicknamed Barnabas, which means son of encouragement. He sold a field he owned and brought the money to the apostles. So that's the kind of stuff they were doing back then. That's major, abundant giving. That's radical giving. There are times I have given, and I try to give more and more, increase the percentage that I give. And it's not about percentage, but I see when I look at it, the end of the year, the amount I've given, I'm like, wow, it's always increasing. God increases us to be able to give more. How about Paul's instruction to the church? 1 Corinthians 16. Now, regarding your question about the money being collected for God's people in Jerusalem, you should follow the same procedure I gave to the churches in Galatia. So he gave this procedure, this structure to the churches. All right. Now, what does this have to do with tithing? This doesn't explicitly call it tithing here, but check this out. He did this systematically. On the first day of each week, okay, first day, the first fruits, the best, you should each put aside a portion of the money you have earned. All right. Somebody commented, there's no command to give out of earned income to the church. Well, he's saying for them to put aside a portion of the money they've earned to give. Don't wait until I get there and try to collect it all at once. So it's a system. He said, put it aside, get ready for me to come and give it. Now, here's another thing he says. This one here is referencing the tithe and in reference to taking care of the church and those that minister even under the new covenant. Verse 13, do you not know that those who minister the holy things eat of the things of the temple, and those who serve at the altar partake of the offerings at the altar? Even so, which means in the same way is what he's saying here. The Lord has commanded that those who preach the gospel should live from the gospel. So those that are basically full-time ministry should live off that. Paul compared ministry support under grace to how the Levites were supported under the tithe. So that verse is a direct correlation to the tithe in the New Testament. He didn't throw it out. He used it as a foundation. And really, Jesus takes us to a higher standard under grace.